welcome to another episode of Uncommon Edge.
I gotta get out of here. I'm working 14-hour days. I can't make any money here.
You can't do a lot here, and you can only train so many people.
What the hell's going on?
You gotta get into sales, like medical sales or something else. It's time for you to do something else.
The market doesn't need to change. They need to change. Kids don't know today is that you have to get set up with a mentor.
I went from one mentor to another.
And now that's been 17 years of being coached.
Everything's gonna be a win.
And they think you're lucky.
This is really cool.
Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Edge. I have a great guest here today. We met at the barber shop, a couple of months ago? No, this is Greg Gale.
Same spot.
Greg and I have known each other for quite some time,
Yeah.
but we've never sat down to do this.
No, we haven't. No.
So this is like, we're going to go off the rails like a crazy train today. We'll probably talk about a lot of things we have in common and other things that we're working on just because of, we're kind of the old guys in the group here. And it's like, let's see what we can do to, run with these young bucks.
I'm excited. Honored to be on the show. This is great.
So before we got on the air, we were talking about he came out here in 91 and Kim and I came out here in 94. So we're kind of like in that same, and to think how Phoenix, Scottsdale, what the hell's going on, right?
Well, you talk, even, real estate, the 101 stopped at University Drive. And my roommate, when I was going to college, he was studying culinary. And he was at the Princess from Tempe. He would have to drive Scottsdale Road because the 101 didn't exist.
Yeah.
That's how it was back then.
Yeah, I think where we lived, we had to go down Pima, cross Shea, down to the 51 to get to the airport. It was an hour, and just crazy.
How far it's come.
And people are probably like, you sound like two old guys talking about horse and buggy and stuff, the Wild West. So anyway, okay, so ASU, walk me through, how did you what was the transition? What did Greg do? Did he go try a couple things, or did you just jump right into the lending world?
No, man, I think I would say a little more fate, right? So when I was going to college, yes, it took me about 8 years to graduate ASU. I just had no idea what I wanted to do. I came out with systems engineering. I pretty much partied through school, academic probation, went to MCC for a semester or two, then came back to ASU. Luckily, they let me back in. And then I stumbled into a martial arts school. Oh. So I get into martial arts, and I'm like, this is really cool. And that actually prioritized that over school. So I literally took enough credits so I could keep my flight benefits. Like we were talking about, my dad was in the airlines. So he goes, hey, keep enough credits for flight benefits. I'm like, okay. So I did that. I just kind of took any class that fit the schedule so I could work out at the martial arts school.
No kidding.
I ended up running and managing that. And so my teacher's like, why don't you get into something like this? And I'm like, oh. So I went to my advisor. He goes, do exercise science and pre-med. So then I got laser focused and finished my degree, exercise science pre-med, became a certified personal trainer, and then got into the Village. So the Village was just building at Gainey, just down the street from you. Became a trainer there, was contracted to teach martial arts, and my very first client was a mortgage broker.
Stop it.
Yes. So I'm training her. Her name's Kathy, and she goes, and I said, hey, my girlfriend at the time was managing multiple pizza places, Spinato's, right down the street as well.
Yeah.
Manages Spinato's, but wanted to get into real estate. So the mortgage broker says, no, she should do mortgages. And I was like, well, will you interview her? And she's like, no, she has no experience. And I'm like, come on. She's like, okay, fine. So she interviews my girlfriend, who's now my wife, and she becomes the secretary, file opener, processor, loan officer, and then personal assistant to the owner. That I was still personal training.
Now, what year is this?
This is 2001.
Okay.
So 2001 to 2005.
Okay.
My wife's working her way up through, becomes vice president, personal assistant to the owner.
Love it.
Running the place. And then now I've been 5 years at the Village. And I was like, man, I got to get out of here. I'm working 14-hour days. I can't make any money here. I'm now, 4 or 5 years in a relationship with girlfriend, now fiance.
Right.
Like, hey, I need to do something. So she's like, hey, there's a top producer here that's looking for an assistant. maybe you'd like to jump into the mortgage business. Now, I've been to their Christmas parties. I've hung out with them. I've
Yeah,
seen
so
the
you
cars
know-
in the
you
parking
know
lot.
everyone.
I'm like, wow. I'm like, okay, but I do nothing about the game. And so she's like, this is your way, your foot in the door. So I interview with him. His name's JB. Interview with him. Now, this is 2005.
Okay.
He's like, hey, here's exactly what I'm looking for. Here's the job. Like, literally pulls out a yellow piece of paper, long legal form, writes it all out. Here's what I'm looking for. Here's the pay. Got any questions? I'm like, no. And I'm like, he's like, okay. He goes, well, hey, this is just during the interview. And he's like, hey, I got to jump. I got to go to the title company, pick up a check. And, I'm like, all right. I go, well, look, dude, I cleared the whole schedule. I got nothing. I go, I don't want to talk next week. Like, I'll come for a ride. So I go in his car, drive to the title company, come back. He goes, okay, come in again. Come back in the office. He's like, what would it take to get you here? How much are you making over there? What would it take? That looks good. Okay, here's the offer. I'm like, all right. I go, dude, I have to give my people 2 weeks notice. Now, in a normal job, you give one boss 2 weeks notice.
Right.
As a trainer, I had to give 2 weeks notice to the village, but then every single one of my clients. Do you know what they all said? They were all happy. They're like, dude, you were meant for something else. You weren't meant to stay here for a long time. He's like, I appreciate you've been here for a while and training me, but it's time for you to do something else.
Wow.
And the village, it's all like entrepreneurs,
Yeah,
CEOs.
it's a different level. Because
Yeah.
now, back in the day, the village, like, that was the mecca of, like, oh my God, you go to the village? Like, that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Still is, but
But it was
now,
the first of the health club,
Yes.
spa, combo,
Yes.
luxury,
breakfast, the
high
whole
ticket.
9 yards.
Yeah, well,
But-
and there was exclusivity. So the gym's not massive, but it didn't need to be because you weren't going for the gym per se.
Right.
But it was more the networking and all the other stuff, the spa, the basketball courts inside, all that kind of stuff, the classes, and then the extra stuff because I was teaching the martial arts program there. They had a lot of different things that clubs now have that they were.
Yeah, they're first of their kind.
Yeah. So I get in and I take the opportunity. JB's like, all right, here's the offer. Let's go. And so I jump in. Everyone's supportive. It was awesome. And then we had a real good run. 05, 06, 07. And then at the end of 07, JB was like, hey, man, something's weird. Like, we got to, we were brokering. He's like, we got to get out of here. Brokering's not the place to be. He's like, it's something's wrong. Stated law. I mean, he was really good. He wasn't like just taking advantage and being like, hey, let's ride it out. And then it's just going to, like, he was like, hey, we got to go. So we started interviewing all of 08 with retail operations. So he's like, dude, we need in-house underwriting. We were the top producers, or he was the top producer. I was just the assistant. He was the top producer. He's like, we need some people that are ahead of us that we can chase. And kind of like you have, you seek other people that are ahead and that you can collaborate with. And we didn't have that. So we started doing all that interviewing. And then September of 08, he passed away in an ATV accident.
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was so horrible. So his mom calls me in the middle of the night. He had gone on a date that I set it like he did massage date, all this stuff. Like I was the assistant, right? So I set it all up and did no drinking. They went massages and went to eat and then went home. And when they went home, they opened up the garage and she's like, oh my God, you have ATVs? And this is up at Ironwood, so
Okay.
DC Ranch,
Yep,
right? So
yep.
he's like, yeah, pick one. And she picks the one that he just had fixed that had throttle damage. So they jump on. The helmets are still sitting there on the wall that they did not grab. They go down. It was a little slick because it missed it out, nothing crazy. And lost control, throttle stuck. And so she calls me, she lets me know. Oh my God. And so we were already moving to a bank. So the broker was like, okay. And we just shut everything down within a matter of days. And then I went to still my current company, Nova. So this was 17 years ago. So I go to Nova. Hey, it's only me. And we had loan officers. I said, I'm not bringing the other LOs because those are JBs.
Right.
I'm not managing people. He was. So it's just me and the processor. And Nova's like, all right, we'll give you a shot. Now, this is when like the market's tanking. So it wasn't like I had like all this business and future business promise.
Right.
This was like, you guys want to roll the dice and on the assistant? And so they allowed me to come in. And that's how I got started, like, in the business.
No kidding.
Yeah.
My God. Do you look back on some of that and go, what was I thinking or what was I doing? Like, what do you think kept you aligned back then? Or was it just sheer grit?
Yeah, well,
Because I mean, when you look back and you're like, oh yeah, I was super dumb, but I just kept focused. Where now, you'd be like, well, wait a minute, a
Yeah.
little more conservative in the approach versus back then. So,
well, I think the choice of going into lending as a job was more of I just knew for like a year I'm capped with my income and just didn't know what to do. And the people I was training was like, hey man, you got to get into sales, like medical sales or something out. Like you're super personal, but you can't do a lot here, and you can only train so many people. I can only, you're just capped with the hours you have.
Right.
Right. I mean, I was even doing 2-on-1 trainings to try to just get a little bit more, but you're just capped,
Wow.
right? And so they were encouraging that, so I finally got that opportunity. And then the choice after JB passed, well, it was nice because I had a mentor. So no matter what was happening in the market, it didn't matter because he was steering the ship and he had a very good guidance for what was going on. He was just really good. And so I got to soak all that up. And we were in an office probably like half the size of this room. And we stayed together the whole time. So there was no like, hey, we're expanding to this. Like we expanded at the brokerage and we moved into just a bigger office for us.
got it.
And then when he said, hey, we're going to get a building in the next parking lot over, and still in the same brokerage, but we know because he wanted loan officers.
Yeah.
So he wanted another building. So the main broker lady that I was her trainer, she's like, yeah, you guys can go get a building. So we went over here, opened up an office. We customed out the office. We both had an office together. He's like, dude, you can only be within shouting distance of me because you're my assistant.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of stuff's just caught, not taught. Like if I hung around with you and stayed within 6 feet of you for 14 hours a day for 3 straight years,
Yeah.
I'd learn a lot.
You're going to learn something.
A lot.
Yep.
And so that's what I did with JB. Now, so I had a mentor, right? Well, when he passed, this is, you're a faith guy.
Mm-hmm.
Wait to hear this story. So 2 weeks after he passes, someone gives me a ticket to go to this leadership conference. And I'm like, okay, sure. And I'd never been like a conference person or anything. They probably weren't really that big back then.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. It was at a church out in Mesa. So I show up. There's no realtor. There's no lender. It's like an MLM guy. There's like a chiropractor. Like, I don't even remember a lot of the people. A lot of speakers and stuff. And I'm like, okay, it was like a rah-rah thing. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
this is fun. I leave and, and I'm like energized, but there was nothing crazy about it. And then there's these little, tables. And there's a table and they got these CDs. Some people might not know what those are, but they're little round.
CDs are a round disc with a hole in it that you stuck anyway.
It goes in your car.
Yeah.
Sometime, not anymore.
Or on the side of your hip
So
with headphones.
I get in there and I'm 45 minutes from the house. I slide it in and it says the core training. And I'm like, oh, it's a workout CD because it says the core. So I throw it in and I'm thinking it's going to tell me about some workout thing. Well, no. It's the Core Training, which is a national real estate and lending coaching company. I'm like, this is weird. So I'm listening, and this guy, Rick Ruby's the owner of the Core, and he's like, clean out your car, clean out your closet, be organized, chase realtors, like yelling at me. And remember, my dad's a Marine, so I took to that very well. Like, oh, wow, I like this guy. So 45 minutes later, I'm done with this CD, and I turn into my new office that I just started with at Nova, and I go onto thecoretraining.tv, and $89. They ship me the CDs. They give me all these forms to fill out. And I basically got a new mentor and coach.
Wow.
So it wasn't long that I was on my own, just like, man, what am I doing? Maybe I should go back to being a trainer. Like the doubt couldn't creep in because it was like, hey, here's your new plan. And the plan was exactly what JB was doing. It was very well structured, calling and visiting and get
Sure.
face to face and all the stuff everyone knows now. But 17 years ago wasn't a thing.
No.
And it just kind of, I say fate because it just kind of fell in my lap, like, wow. And so I went from one mentor to another, and now that's been 17 years of being coached with the same organization.
Because what would have happened if you would have isolated going, poor me,
Yeah.
You know what we do to one another. It's
Yeah.
like you start, blame game and all that. What if it would have been 2 months, 3 months, 6 months?
Yeah.
Greg's out there on his own. I'll figure it out.
Oh, I missed this part. So when JB passed away next month, my wife had already quit her job 6 months ago because she was pregnant and gave birth the month after JB passed. So single income family. She's at home raising our first child. And then I'm sitting there trying to
So
do
no
loans
pressure.
in the '08 market.
No pressure.
So very easily could have felt isolated on an island. What am I doing? Maybe I need to go back to training. Oh well,
Yeah.
whatever. And gosh, I was just very blessed to run into that leadership thing, get the core CD, run into them, and then just go. And then I had my best year ever, all the way up through, well, after COVID.
Yeah. So it's been
So that was a
so
pretty
you've been
good
on a
run.
run. Yeah.
That was a pretty big run.
Yeah, everyone needed that.
Yeah.
Now here we are.
Yeah. Well,
So
then
now here we
massive
are.
reset.
Yeah, everyone's like, "Oh my God, new year! New me's gonna come out." It's like,
That's every year.
listen, they don't need to change. Okay, the market doesn't need to change. They need to change.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting. Again, hearing your story, and it's like we all go through something, right? It's just what it makes us, and what I'm finding in today's world is like people will try something. It doesn't work, so they say that doesn't work.
Mm.
What do you find when you're working with some of the younger generation or someone that's just new? When you see that early failure and they really take it personal, what do you like to do to like kind of spin it so that it's more of a learning moment, not just a failure?
Yeah, I think that, and you've probably heard some of the quotes, but life happens for you, not to you.
Yeah.
So don't play the blame game, and maybe there's something you can learn from this. There's a lesson from the failure. Fail forward. Like we all hear it.
Yeah.
It's more of trying to help them navigate that process of, look, not everything's going to be a win, and it's just going to be a windfall, and it's just going to be like this the whole time. And we know it because we're the older dudes in the generations. But I have like 3 younger guys that are early 20s getting in the business, and they're like, man, they're not picking up the phone, or they won't call me back, or they put me on unread, and I'm like, what does that even mean? And I'm like, dude, hang in there, right? Like a lot of people quit the 3 feet from gold, and then they just had to keep going, right? And then for me, I try to relate it with stories, right? So there's agents that I've chased for. There's one story I told them the other day. I said there's 2 gentlemen, Kevin and Fred, Kevin Kaufman, Fred Weaver.
Oh yes.
Yeah. So I'm going after them. This is like, they told this story at my sales rally that I didn't even know the story. So I'm chasing them for like 4 months, and at the 4-month mark, and it was either Fred went to Kevin, Kevin Fred, like, hey, I like this guy. We should work with him. And I'm like, let's go 2 more months and see if he still hangs in there. And they literally purposely waited 2 more months
to see what your follow-up
to see
skill
if I was
was.
going to keep doing, or if I was going to quit. And so obviously I hung in there because I've been working with them for like now 12 years. But I say that to these guys. So I use that story for them to say, you just never know. I just had a conversation with a gentleman who said, hey, I want to bring you on, be our lender partner. 8 months. I've been calling, texting, cards, notes, videos, stop by, sending him referrals. Like, hey man, let's do some business. And 8 months later.
And they think you're lucky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a lot of that, like, how do you get out of, like, your mind's telling you something that maybe is not true.
Mm-hmm.
And so having somebody they say, seek good counsel. Not seek counsel, seek good counsel, seek wise counsel. And so talking to other people, and maybe sometimes you're the wise counsel to that younger generation. You're like, hey, man, this is some of the stories that I've gone through, and maybe this will help you.
And see, sometimes I catch myself and it's like, I'm telling real stories like that happened to me that relate to maybe a scenario or situation, right? And it's like, I think sometimes they just look at you like, dude, that's like an old story. You know what I mean? Like it's not like that anymore.
Tell me something new.
Or they'll be like, well, yeah, but can't you do... And it's like, no, listen. And I think for me, just looking past, like I was young and dumb, right? Mm-hmm. I knew better. But see, it's like, what kids don't know today is that you have to get set up with a mentor. You really do.
It's the fast pass.
That is the cheat code.
Yes.
That's a cheat code.
Look, like, we all know if you went to the gym, you could get in shape. But man, if I hired Nate,
trainer, yeah,
said, hey man, can you work me out? And I'll pay you, obviously, but the investment is far, because I'm tapping into knowledge of him having 10, 15, whatever years of knowledge compressed into, just show me that.
Yep. You write the check for speed.
Yes.
I mean,
That's it.
It works.
Yes.
It works.
Number one question I get asked when they come out of real estate is they're like, well, hey, what's the first thing I should do? And I'm like, well, get on a team, get a mentor, get somebody who's going to teach you. Because if you go solo, LO or realtor, you might make it. But if you did, it's just a long path to get there with a lot more mistakes and a lot more heartache.
Hey, I watched my wife go through it. Okay, she got in the business in 2002. Her first deal, she almost got sued on her first deal in real estate. Okay,
And stayed in the game.
and stayed in the game, and then started like nipping away at it, and then like her third, fourth year starting to do, and then boom, the market crash, and
Yep.
and again, it's like these scenarios and stuff make you who you are today. When you're going through it, yes, horrific. You're
Yes.
probably at one point going, "What am I supposed to be doing here?" But thank God you went to that church and
Yes.
paid for the CDs.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah. And when you have that, not even that, just the mentor, the counsel, the coach, but you also have that community that's going through the same stuff. So when you're like you said earlier, like it's not the market, like the market's the market, whether the
Right.
market's good or bad. The market's not good. It's the market. Markets
Yep.
aren't bad. It's the market. It's how are you going to show up in the market today? So I get that. But when you're going through it, to have a community that's in the same exact market, hey, what are you doing right now? What are you doing right now? Oh man, you had a bad day. I had a bad day. Okay, cool. I'm not alone, right? Oh, you're suffering with the same thing. You're getting the commission thing, and you're getting the the rate shopper thing, and you're getting the cancellation. You're getting the high listing guy, and great. Now we're on this. Okay, so what are you doing about it? Oh, awesome. That's a great idea. Or oh, hey, this is what I was doing. Do you think this is a good idea? So that community of knowing that you're not alone, not an island, is priceless.
Yeah.
When you get into a program or into a great team environment.
Especially when you're like, "Hey man, what's up?" And it's kind of that, Gumpy Gus look. All right, dude, don't be BSing me now. What's going on? Well, you see,
Yeah.
okay, now we got so if you can fix that, you'll be good. Yeah. All right, well, do this.
There you go.
Go
Exactly.
fix it. Bam.
Yeah.
Get going.
Do you ever find that you're in coaching mode a lot? Like
24 hours.
it's the only thing.
I'll wake
right?
up and coach Kim in the middle of the night. Hey, whatever it takes, man. Seriously, because I think
Iron sharpens iron.
I think what happens is that when you focus on what needs to be done, it's like it's almost like this crazy tunnel vision, right? And right now, in both our industries, there is a lack of sales training. We talk about rates, we talk about forms, we talk about leads off of Instagram, we talk about AI, we talk about all the shiny cool stuff. But what it comes down to it is, can you really talk to a human being? Everyone's skirting around that stuff.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And it's nuts right now. Because we have like 6 generations of people out there in our workforce.
Right.
That middle age, 70, 75, they're still out there hustling.
Yep.
And then you got the young whippersnappers. So you have all these generations of different communication styles. Because what do the young kids say? I hate this agent's drive me nuts because all he wants to do is call and talk. He won't text.
Yeah.
And then vice versa.
Right.
Us older people were like, damn it.
He's texting my flip phone.
Yeah. It's like this kid only wants to text. So I think this finding out communication style and finding out like where people are at, and then once you figure out where they're at, then you work with it.
Yeah.
Just because it's my way or your way doesn't mean that that's the right way. And it takes a little bit of feeling that piece out.
Yeah.
But
That's a
I
good
don't
point.
see people doing it though. It's like I do on occasion, but a lot of times it's always just
Do you think it's because they're looking for the easy way? Like,
100%.
hey, communicate on my path because that is easier. And we'll communicate like online or through Instagram because that's easier. Easier than door knocking, getting rejected face to face rather than like, oh, they just didn't DM me back. I'll DM 50 more people.
right.
Right? Like they're taking the easier path.
But then once they get them, oh, that wasn't a good lead.
Yes.
Okay,
Which goes
now.
to the sales training, right? So you got communication and sales.
Right.
It's like lacking.
What do you think with, and again, not for market predictions and all that, because who cares? Like what you see is what you get right now, right?
Yeah.
If we take the last 90 days and flip that forward into the new year, what do you think? What's your game plan as far as with your people and keeping everyone's heads on straight? Because I think everyone's looking for that relief. I mean, we're seeing consumers now definitely buying.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that pent up demand has just gotten to the point where we're like, all right, screw it, you
Right.
know. But if we have another 90, 120 days of this, you know, this cat and mouse with the rate fluctuation, and
Yeah.
people are still leery,
Mm-hmm.
and depending upon what's going on, and you know, on Capitol Hill, and just everything.
Yeah.
What's your game plan in terms of just keeping people in the game?
Well, for me, it's more about like, because that, you know, it's not, motivation is always a key, but it's really the disciplines and the standards that you put in place. And I know you're that kind of person as well. But for me, it's like, did you do your standards for the day?
Yeah.
And that's winning the day. Not how many leads did you get in?
How many closings do you have?
How many closings? Like the lag measurement of that comes. It's the lead measurement of how many. It's a contact sport.
Yeah.
So how many contacts did you make today? And did you make the contacts that we had that you need to hit your goals? Not my goals, your goals. Because if your goal is here and my goal is here, you have less contacts than I need to make.
Mm-hmm.
And you're making the right contacts, etc. And did you do your scripts practice? Did you, are you role playing? Did you, so did you run the plays? Did you win the day? Is mostly what I'm pushing, because it's literally that for us, right? Because there's still, I mean, what, in our county, there's over 5,000 sales. It's like, it was 6,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7. It's like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
If you only need 3 or 4, or you need 20,
Yeah.
there's plenty there. It's just, I'm not making the right number of, or contacting and connecting and with the right amount of people or the right people. And so I just preach that it's a contact sport. How many people did you get face to face with? How many people did you see today? Like, how many dials did you make today? Okay, and not how many picked up, because I can't control that.
No.
But you can control the number of dials, and maybe you just need to dial some more to make the 2 more contacts. I'll get sheets from people because I'm coaching, so they send me their sheet. We call it a greatness tracker. And when they send me the tracker, it says 20, and they did 19. And I'm like, did you really send me a form with 19 when you're supposed to do 20? Like, I just couldn't get that last one. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I go, wait, you either
I would have gone like this, 20.
I'm like, you purposefully, but you're only cheating yourself, dude. But you either you are doing a look back, like, oh, hey, I only saw 19 people, which means you need to track daily. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't go, like, you might do it now, but do you ever, like, you track your calories and what you're eating and stuff like that? Okay. So if I'm tracking, you track every day. You don't go on Friday and go, what did I eat on Monday? What did I eat on Tuesday?
No.
Oh, I ate too much this week. You go by the day.
Right.
Right? You get on the scale every day, every other day, but not monthly.
No.
It's too far out, right? So I said, you're either doing such a far look back, or you literally aren't that committed. Because to go on Friday and go, I got 19, I'm going to go home now. Like, could you have swung by someone's office?
Just
and
that
brought
one
him
more
a
thing, man.
Protein bar to
Yeah.
Dave and made another face-to-face? Like, come on. And so, but it's stuff like that. And I'm like, did you make your contacts? So a lot of my talk is that. Sometimes it's the, hey, they're saying the market's going to be a little off, so I need you to up your activity. Or, hey, guys, they're predicting the market's going to be up. You need to go make some more contacts, because that means more people are going to hit the market, and it could be the last person they talk to. And if the last person wasn't you, then you're not getting that deal.
Yep.
So make sure you're hitting them. Like, database. Like, how many, if you've been seasoned in the game, agent or lender, you got to stay top of mind. Everyone preaches it, but like, now's even more important, because they're going to make a move probably in 26. Are you top of mind?
You got to start. It's just like you're a farmer, You're dropping a little seed in there, packing the dirt around it, watering it, making sure there's no weeds.
Yes.
That's the game, because again, it's that front of mind is so important. And I think what happens is people feel like they're bugging them. Well, yeah, if you're like, hey, you ready to buy all the time? Yeah. How about being a human being? Hey, I know Christmas is around the corner. I know that this major holiday is coming. Or, hey, I know it's probably summer. You guys are taking. I just want to say hi. Hope all's well.
Yeah. You need anything?
Woo! Look at that.
Yeah. You need anything?
Yeah.
A light guy? You need a light taker downer guy?
Yeah.
You need. Hey, I'm hiring a tree service to go around and pick up trees when people are done with their trees. Do you want me to add you to the list?
It's pretty simple.
Yeah, but I think you said people get caught up in their head, like, I'd be bothering them. Or when my favorite is like, well, Greg, I haven't talked to him in like 3 or 4 years. Should I I don't know what to say. And I'm like, well, don't do I'm sorry I haven't called you in 3 years, because they don't know that you should have been calling them every year. So just call, hey, Dave, I was just thinking about you. Or you're a realtor, so you drive neighborhoods all the time. So how about you legitimately say, hey, I was driving by your neighborhood and it made me think of you.
Yeah, there you go.
For me, I'm like, hey, I was scrolling through my CRM and your name popped up.
Hey, you could sell that script for like $19.95 on a subscription. All right, so what's the number one personal goal that you're after in 2026?
Personal goal?
Yeah.
So I did a renovation last year, and I need to pay down my line. That's really my personal goal. I need to get back on track. Yes.
You're rich and good looking.
Like, I know exactly what I need. Like, I did a renovation. I'm like, dude, I need to pay that thing down. Because I hate paying interest that I don't need to be paying.
Yeah. Did you go a little overboard? Was it fun?
Well, unfortunately, I stuck to the script of it takes longer and costs more. And talking to my coach, he goes, man, he's like, here's how I do it. I negotiate with the contractor up front and say, here's how much I'm going to pay you for the job. No matter how long, if it takes you longer, then I'm paying you less. If you hit it on the mark, I pay you what you, and I'm like, that's genius. He's like, yeah, you should have asked me. Like, I ask him all these business questions.
Wait a minute, what part of the country is he in?
North Carolina.
See, Phoenix is different now.
You don't think if you had said that to a contractor?
It's changed a lot.
Like, I'm paying you for the job. I know. But we had to deal, and my wife had to become the project manager because the project manager wasn't doing his job. So we're like, she had to jump in more, and I'm like, so I'm paying him, and then she's doing it.
So a little distraction on top of 2025.
A lot, man. But yeah, so that's the big. The other one is, to be honest, I lost my mom last year, and so my dad, it's like, Jesse Itzler said this. He goes, hey, if the average person lives till 82, how old are your parents? Okay, minus that from 82, that's how many birthdays, Christmas, Father's Days, Mother's Days. And I'm like, wow. So when he said that, I made more cognizant trips back east to Boston to see my parents.
Good for you.
Fortunately, because that happened to my mom. But then the same, my wife's reminding me of the kids. So my kids, younger than yours, are 17, 15. And so she's like, 2 more Christmases.
Yep.
2 more summers. Because remember my story, I left Boston. And when I came here, yes, I did a long stint at college, but I still didn't go back home. I stayed right here. And so that's a thing too. So when you say personal goals is family trips. So we've been doing a decent job at it, but now we're like, okay, let's make some really, like one big family trip somewhere, whether it's Europe or something, memorable, but then little trips to colleges so we can start looking at just so they have that experience.
Yeah.
What to ask for, what to look for, things like that.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. We'll have to have you back in like 6 months. Do a little recap to see how the front half of 2026 is doing.
I think it's going to be good. What's your predictions for 26?
More of all of it. I'm excited. Seriously. Like, I think 2026, you're going to see a big separation and people that have been working really, really hard, and they're going to rise in this upcoming year.
Using your seed analogy, they've planted more seeds and nurtured those seeds more than others.
Yeah.
There's a big gap now, and the gap's going to get bigger.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a really big separation, and it is what it is. I mean, a lot of things are changing and stuff, but at the end of the day, I think it's about let's get back to that human connection piece of it and really focus on that. Let all the white noise be white noise, but just stay focused on that human contact. And I think that's where the money is, because a lot of people are worn out with all this other push button, microwave minute type mindset.
Yeah.
And it's like,
slow down.
We could have done this over a Zoom, right?
Right.
But we're here in person, a lot
Way
different.
better. Way better.
Exactly.
Different and better.
Well, plus you're across the parking lot there.
Why not make a trip over?
Well, thank you for coming on. Appreciate you.
It. Yes,
appreciate you. Hey, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And if you did, I want you to smash that like button. Also subscribe so you can hear our latest updates every week. And as always, let's make it a great day.